Hi, I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World, and this is the new Atlas Moth pattern. Here's how to make it. All right, this is the video, excuse me, showing how to assemble the Atlas Moth pattern, except that I'm going to make an Atlas butterfly, even though there's no such thing as an Atlas butterfly. So what we're doing is I'm going to use the exact same pattern as the Atlas Moth, but I'm going to make it in totally different colors to look more butterfly-ish, even though it's still going to have feathery moth antenna. So it has a lot of pieces, and you're going to see how awesome it is to do a complex pattern like this using a light box, because it makes a world of difference. So first of all, let me show you my light box setup. So I have my light box. I've got it turned as bright as it'll go. I have a tempered glass cutting board here that is completely optional. I have it so that I can iron right on my light box, but you don't have to do that. I have my placement guide, and I have a clear silicone sheet. I've got all of my pieces cut out, prepared, and ready to go. So I print the templates onto the paper side of paper-backed fusible adhesive. I use Heat and Bond Light, and you can trace them if you prefer. I just am lazy and I like to get right to the fun part, so I print them. I roughly cut around each piece and then fuse it to the back side of my fabric. And then after it's fused, I cut everything out neatly on the solid lines. These dotted lines, those are placement guides, and you don't need them. They're only there for people who are not using a light box. So let's get started. And I think what I'm going to do, since this is a complicated pattern, normally you would do all of the pieces in numerical order, but I'm going to fudge that a little bit, and I'm going to do 1/2 of the body so that you can still really clearly see all of the lines on the other side as I'm doing it, because normally as I lay pieces down, it just obscures that, especially on video. You can see it pretty clearly still in person, but on video, I think this is going to be the clearest way to do it. So we're going to start with piece number 1. You peel off the back, and you position it right where it is, so super easy. And then 2 is on this side, but 3 is, where's 3? Oh, 3, I could have just looked through that. 3 is this little curly bit along the edge of this lower wing. And if you have trouble seeing the lines through, just make contact between the 2 layers and those lines will show through much easier. So there's 3, and 4 is on the other side. So I'm just going to set this over here to make things easier for later. And then 5 is this kind of wiggly stripe. And that goes right here. There we go. That's 5. 6 is the wiggly stripe on the other side. We'll get to that. And then 7 is this little triangle. And 7 is going to go right here. And now 8 is going to go on the other side. But before I get into the other side, there's a lot of little pieces here, so I'm going to tack these together so I don't have to worry about bumping them. So not a proper fuse, just a quick little tack, and now I don't have to worry about bumping them. All right, so I'm going to wait to do the other lower wing on this side, and we're going to jump up to piece number 9 here and start doing this upper wing. So there's piece 9. And then 10 is the other wing, so we're going to set that aside for now. And then 11 is, there is another kind of scalloped piece similar to the one on the bottom wing, but we've got one on the top wing. It goes right there. So 12 is the other side, and then 13, similar to the little stripe we had down there, we've got a stripe on the top wing as well. It's a very complicated moth. And of course, I simplified it a lot over the actual moths in nature. And then 14 is the stripe on the other side. And then 15 is this weird shape that looks like a pie with a slice taken out of it. It goes right back there. Whoops. Bumped this. There we go. 16 on the other wing, and then 17 is a little triangle that sits, it's like the piece of that got cut out of that pie, except it's a different color. And it just sits right in there. Try not to stick to the pieces. And then, let's see, 18 goes on the other side. And then 19 is a little kind of trapezoid shape. Fits just like that. And 20 is the one on the other side. So again, I'm going to do a quick tack and hold all these pieces together here. Okay, now I'm going to start building the other side. So we're going to just do piece 2. And then 4. So we got all the evens on this side. And 6. Bumped that one. And then 8 is the little triangle. And then let's tack those guys in place so I can stop shifting them by accident. And then we'll build this top wing. And this is, almost all of the moths are a little bit complicated, but this is one of the most complicated. Okay, so that was, what was that? 10. So now we've got 12. It's down there. Then 14 is the stripe here. And then 16 is that pie. And 18 is the piece that's been cut out. Oops. And then 20 is that little trapezoid bit. All right, tack those guys together. Now, got an easy bit. 21 is the body. And then 22 and 23 are the antenna. And then last but not least is 24, the head. And now I'm going to tack all the pieces together, get that last bit in the middle. Okay, again, that still wasn't the permanent fuse, but I'm going to let that cool. Okay, that is good enough. And now let's carefully, because I didn't do a proper fuse, we're going to be really careful and gentle with this. Not pull any of these pieces apart. There we go. And now we'll bring its block in. And for the moths, I really centered them in the block like this, but for the butterfly versions, I'm letting them kind of flutter every which way, just so you can see both options. Now I'm going to do the proper fuse. This takes longer, so it's going to be a little boring, so I'm going to fast forward through this. All right, now I'm going to take this over to my sewing machine, and I'm going to do all of the outline stitching, and then I'll bring it back here and I will show you the finished versions, the Atlas Moth, as well as this Atlas Butterfly, which is a totally made-up animal. All right, here is the finished Atlas Moth, made up in pretty realistic colors, but I also wanted to show you an Atlas Butterfly that I made. So here is the Atlas Butterfly. There's no such thing as an Atlas Butterfly. This is a totally made-up creature, but God, I love it. I just love the colors. This one turned out really, really nicely. I'm very happy with this one. But I just wanted to show you that you can take all of the moth patterns, you can make them up in pretty realistic colors, but then you can also make the exact same pattern, exact same pieces, exact same configuration, but totally made up colors and make a completely different creature. Another thing that you can do, I'm doing 10 moth patterns and 10 butterfly patterns, and you're going to be able to mix and match the pieces between all of those patterns. So you can take the wings from one moth and the body of another, and the lower wings of a different one, and the markings of another one, and the antenna of a different one, and you can mix all of those together and come up with completely unique and different moths or butterflies. So these are going to be a lot of fun to play with. But for now, here is the Atlas Moth pattern. You can get it at Shiny Happy World. I'm Wendy, and I will see you next time.